They say you are what you eat. But what if I told you it's also what you drink that decides how well your brain remembers and how strongly your heart beats? Every single day, I meet patients who feel like their minds are slowing down. They can't find words as easily. They lose focus in the middle of a sentence. They wake up tired, even after a full night's sleep. Some blame age. Others point fingers at memory decline. But there's one invisible culprit that's often overlooked: chronic, low-grade dehydration. Most people think dehydration only happens when you're drenched in sweat or out in the sun. But even mild dehydration, the kind that builds up quietly throughout the day, can reduce blood flow to the brain and weaken your heart's rhythm. It's subtle, it's sneaky, and it's powerful. A 2021 study from the University of North Carolina found that older adults with just a 2% drop in hydration levels experienced significantly slower neural response times and higher cortisol levels, a stress hormone known to damage blood vessels and accelerate cognitive decline. What shocked researchers even more was how quickly these effects showed up. Within hours, participants reported fatigue, dizziness, and lapses in memory. And this wasn't after skipping meals or doing heavy workouts. It was simply from not drinking the right kinds of fluids throughout the day. Why does this matter so much? Because your brain relies on water to conduct electrical signals between neurons. Without enough of it, your mental clarity dims, decision-making slows, and stress builds up faster than your body can regulate. At the same time, your heart struggles to maintain stable blood pressure when your fluid balance is off. This creates the perfect storm for vascular inflammation, elevated LDL cholesterol, and even arrhythmias. Now, here's what most people get wrong. They assume that any liquid counts: tea, soda, juice, even coffee. But not all beverages hydrate the body in the same way, especially as we age. Some spike your blood sugar. Others flush out key minerals, and a few even increase oxidative stress inside the brain. That's why simply drinking more isn't enough. What you drink matters just as much as how much you drink. The good news? There are a few simple everyday drinks often overlooked that gently rehydrate your body while delivering powerful benefits to your brain and heart. They're not flashy. They don't come in bright bottles. But they work with your biology, not against it. And today, I'm going to walk you through 4 of them. Each one supports your nervous system, stabilizes your blood pressure, and helps restore mental clarity in ways that no sugary beverage ever could. Let's begin. If your brain and heart were a finely tuned engine, then plain water would be the oil that keeps everything running smoothly. Not flashy, not exciting. Yet without it, even the most powerful system begins to grind, overheat, and fail. Here is the moment many people overlook. The human brain is made of nearly 75% water. The heart depends on fluid balance to keep blood moving with the right pressure and rhythm. When hydration drops, even slightly, the blood thickens, circulation slows, and the brain receives less oxygen. That is when mental fog appears. That is when the heart has to work harder just to do its basic job. Mineral water takes this one step further. Natural minerals such as magnesium and calcium are not just extras. Magnesium helps calm overstimulated nerve cells and supports stable electrical signaling in the brain. Calcium plays a direct role in heart muscle contraction and rhythm control. Together, they quietly support memory clarity and cardiovascular stability. A large U.S. analysis published in 2022 by the National Institutes of Health followed over 11,000 adults and found that those with chronically low hydration markers had a higher risk of developing hypertension and elevated LDL cholesterol. They also showed faster decline in memory recall tests compared to well-hydrated participants. Another American study reported that improving daily water intake lowered systolic blood pressure by an average of 5 to 7 points in older adults, without medication changes. Let me share a real clinical story. Michael, a 66-year-old man, came to my office complaining of persistent fatigue, lightheadedness, and difficulty concentrating. His heart tests were borderline, but not alarming. His diet looked reasonable. What stood out was his fluid intake, less than 4 glasses of water a day. We increased his daily water intake gradually and added mineral water a few times a week. Within 3 weeks, his blood pressure readings stabilized, his afternoon brain fog eased, and his resting heart rate became more consistent. No new drugs, just hydration done correctly. So how should this be used? For most people, 1.5 to 2 liters of water spread evenly throughout the day is ideal. Mineral water can be included several times a week, especially if your diet is low in magnesium or calcium. If you have kidney disease, severe muscle disorders, or advanced eye conditions related to fluid imbalance, moderation is key, and mineral water should be used less frequently. If plain water feels boring, there are gentle ways to make it more inviting. A slice of cucumber, a few drops of lemon peel essence, or a splash of room temperature mineral water mixed with filtered water can improve taste without stressing the brain or heart. Sometimes, the most powerful solution is the simplest one. And this is only the beginning. There's a quiet kind of exhaustion many people carry with them. You've slept a full night, eaten reasonably well, and yet by late morning, your brain feels sluggish and your body just doesn't want to move. For many older adults, this isn't just about aging, it's about signals. The way your nerves talk to each other. The way your brain speaks to your muscles. And one of the simplest ways to restore those fading signals is through a gentle, supportive drink, low-sodium electrolyte water. Unlike sugary sports drinks or salty rehydration mixes made for athletes, low-sodium electrolyte water is designed for balance. It replenishes not only fluids, but also the essential trace minerals your nervous system relies on to function smoothly without overloading your kidneys or elevating your blood pressure. Sodium, potassium, magnesium, these aren't just numbers on a label. They're the microscopic couriers of your nervous system. Every thought, every memory, every heartbeat begins with a spark created by these ions moving across cell membranes. When you're low on them, those signals get fuzzy. The brain may feel slow, foggy, or overly sensitive to stress. The heart may struggle to maintain a steady rhythm, especially when you're active or exposed to heat. What makes low-sodium electrolyte water unique is that it gives you enough of these key minerals to refresh your system without tipping the scale toward excess salt. That matters because traditional electrolyte drinks often contain high levels of sodium, which may not be ideal for older adults managing blood pressure or kidney function. Low-sodium electrolyte water can be especially helpful during times when your body is losing fluids more rapidly, walking in the heat, spending time outdoors, doing gentle gardening, or simply living in a dry climate. It's also supportive during moments of low appetite or lightheadedness, when your food intake isn't providing the balance your body needs. Now, this isn't a drink you need every day. Think of it as a support tool, a whisper to your nervous system when it's under strain. 1 glass, on days when you're sweating more than usual, feeling weak, or recovering from physical activity, is enough. Using it occasionally ensures you benefit from the added electrolytes without putting stress on your kidneys or overwhelming your body's natural filtration system. If the taste feels too bland or medicinal, a small twist of citrus zest, not the juice, just the aromatic outer peel, can make it far more pleasant. You might also try a chilled glass with a few mint leaves or a splash of cucumber infusion for a cooling spa-like effect. The key is not to chase energy with sugar or caffeine, but to restore the electric balance inside your body in a way that's gentle, steady, and natural. With the right minerals and the right amounts, your brain thinks more clearly, and your heart beats more confidently. And it all starts with a quiet sip of the right kind of water. There's something deeply comforting about a warm glass of milk in the evening, but beyond nostalgia, this simple drink holds remarkable benefits for your brain and heart, especially when chosen wisely. Low-fat or lactose-free milk isn't just a source of nutrition. It's a form of gentle hydration that delivers targeted support to 2 of your body's most vital systems. As we age, hydration becomes more complex. Water alone may not be enough if our diet lacks key nutrients that support neuromuscular and cardiovascular function. This is where milk steps in, not to replace water, but to complement it in a way few other beverages can. Low-fat or lactose-free milk offers a trio of essential components: calcium, vitamin B12, and high-quality protein. Calcium is critical not only for bone health, but also for stabilizing the electrical signals that control your heartbeat. Without adequate calcium, the heart's rhythm can become erratic or inefficient. Vitamin B12 plays a major role in maintaining the health of the protective sheath around nerves, supporting memory, focus, and emotional balance. And protein, especially casein, helps sustain muscle tissue, including the heart muscle during sleep, when the body enters repair mode. A 2020 study by the Framingham Heart Study team, which followed over 2,300 participants aged 60 and older, found that those with higher dietary calcium and B12 intake from milk and dairy products showed better scores in memory retention and executive brain function. They also had lower resting heart rates and more stable blood pressure, especially during nighttime readings. These findings reinforce the link between nutrient-rich hydration and long-term cognitive and cardiovascular resilience. Take the case of Arthur, a 72-year-old retired teacher who came to me complaining of restless sleep and early signs of mild cognitive decline. He was sharp, thoughtful, but increasingly forgetful. After reviewing his habits, one thing stood out. He avoided dairy completely. Out of fear, it would upset his stomach. We introduced a small evening ritual, a cup of warm, lactose-free, low-fat milk about an hour before bed. Within a month, he reported better sleep, clearer focus in the mornings, and even fewer palpitations at rest. So, how should this be used? For most older adults without dairy intolerance, a single cup around 200 to 250 milliliters per day is enough. The best time is in the evening, ideally an hour or two before bed. It supports overnight hydration, provides key nutrients, and may help you wind down without the crashes linked to herbal sedatives or sleeping pills. If you find the flavor too plain, try gently warming the milk with a pinch of ground cinnamon or a few drops of vanilla extract. Both add aroma and warmth without adding sugar. For a cooling daytime version, a splash of unsweetened almond extract over ice can make it feel refreshing and light. The goal isn't to flood your system with dairy, but to use milk as a quiet ally, a calming, nourishing drink that carries information to your brain and heart through the language of minerals and proteins. A single glass, taken with intention, can do more for your nerves and your heartbeat than you might imagine. Some drinks don't just hydrate, they comfort. And in the world of gentle, nourishing hydration for the brain and heart, few are as quietly powerful as low-sodium bone broth. It doesn't come in bright packaging. It doesn't claim to boost energy or burn fat. But it carries something more important: the ability to calm the nervous system, support heart stability, and ease the body into a deeper state of rest and repair. Bone broth, made with minimal salt, especially when simmered slowly with bones rich in connective tissue, contains a unique amino acid profile. One of the most valuable among them is glycine. This amino acid plays a direct role in neurotransmission, acting as a natural modulator that helps your brain slow down and stabilize during times of overstimulation or fatigue. Glycine supports the production of serotonin and other calming brain chemicals that influence sleep, mood, and memory clarity. At the same time, bone broth provides small, digestible amounts of collagen, gelatin, and trace minerals like potassium and phosphorus. These elements may not seem impressive on their own, but together they create a warm, nourishing matrix that gently supports vascular flexibility, electrolyte balance, and heart rhythm. This makes it particularly valuable for those who experience appetite loss, weakness, or general fatigue. One of the most underrated benefits of bone broth is its ability to provide hydration without overwhelming the kidneys or bloodstream. Unlike heavy meals that require energy to digest, a light cup of low-sodium broth can replenish fluids and essential compounds with minimal digestive effort. That's especially important for older adults who may be sensitive to large meals or prone to skipping food when they feel mentally drained or emotionally low. This isn't a drink to consume like water, it's a functional hydration tool. It works best when used with awareness. A single cup, about 150 to 200 milliliters taken once a day or every other day, can provide meaningful support. It's particularly helpful in the late afternoon or early evening, when the body begins to wind down and prepare for rest. Unlike caffeinated or sugary drinks, bone broth doesn't spike energy or disturb your sleep cycle. Instead, it gently coaxes your body back into a rhythm of calm repair. For those who find the natural taste too plain, you can easily enhance the flavor without compromising its benefits. A slice of fresh ginger can add warmth and digestive support. A few sprigs of parsley or thyme provide light herbal notes while boosting antioxidant value. Some prefer a splash of lemon for brightness or a dusting of turmeric for extra anti-inflammatory effect. What matters is that the broth remains low in sodium and free from artificial additives. Over time, this quiet routine, a warm cup in your hands, the slow sipping, the comforting warmth in your chest, becomes more than just a drink. It becomes a signal to your body that it is safe to slow down, to repair, and to reconnect. It reminds your brain that not all nourishment comes in solid form. Sometimes, the deepest healing flows quietly, one small sip at a time. By now, you've seen what most people miss for decades. The drinks that truly support your mind and heart aren't the ones with flashy labels or promises of youth. They're the quiet, steady companions, simple, restorative, and perfectly in tune with what your body really needs. But knowing is only the first step. Now, it's time to live this out. If you've ever felt like your thoughts were slower than they used to be, or your heart just didn't have the same steady rhythm, I want you to know this. Small choices, repeated daily, shape everything. A week of better hydration can sharpen your focus, smooth your heartbeat, and reduce that heaviness you've quietly carried in your chest or behind your eyes. Here's what I recommend. Begin each day with awareness. Don't wait for thirst, it's a late signal. Start with a glass of clean water within an hour of waking. Sip steadily through the day, not just during meals. Rotate your hydration options across the week. Use low-sodium electrolyte water on days when you're active or sweating. Enjoy a warm cup of bone broth when you're feeling low on appetite or energy. Add a small glass of lactose-free milk before bed if sleep has been restless or your mood uneven. These are not rigid rules, they are tools. Use them with kindness. The body doesn't need extremes, it needs consistency. You don't have to overhaul your life. You simply need to give your brain and heart the fluids they crave in forms they recognize and can use. 7 days of intentional hydration can bring back more clarity, calm, and confidence than any supplement on the shelf. You've made it this far in the video, and that tells me something powerful. You're not passive. You're looking for change, for healing, for control over how you age. That's a rare kind of strength. I encourage you to take one step today. Choose just one of the drinks we talked about, add it into your day, and notice how your body responds. Share this video with someone you care about, because clarity of mind and strength of heart are gifts that grow when shared. If this message has helped you, I invite you to like this video, leave a comment with your favorite hydration habit, and subscribe for more insights that speak directly to your season of life. I'm Dr. James Porter, and I'll be right here walking this journey with you, sip by sip, step by step.